Miss Eula put her hands on her hips. "How would you like to be on someone's dinner plate, Lucius? Lucius a la king!" Lucius and his workers didn't know which way to run first as they tried to shush the puddle of chickens left at their feet. Miss Eula flounced back into the car. She jerked the gear shift into drive and pulled out of Peterson's Egg Ranch, weaving the big car slowly right and left as she dodged chickens and stirred up dust. "How many did we get?" "We got 3. They're red." Next to Ruby sat 3 of the most pitiful-looking, nervous creatures she had ever laid eyes on. They clucked and stared at her. "3? That's a good number, a lucky number. You are a good partner, Ruby Lavender, for a 9-year-old. Miss Eula winked at Ruby. "And you are a good getaway driver for a grandmother." Ruby winked back. "Folks will keep eating chicken all right, but they won't eat these 3 now, will they?" "They surely won't," said Ruby. "I can't wait to get to know 'em." "We'll get to know them together." The car traveled smoothly down the country road. The chickens squawked and flapped and put up a ruckus. Miss Eula's and Ruby's eyes met in the rear-view mirror. They smiled at each other. They giggled. And then they laughed and laughed. June 6th. Ruby finished the letter she was writing and folded it 3 times quickly. She jumped up, knocking her chair backward, and shoved the note into the big front pocket of her overalls. Then she raced outside, slapping the screen door against the house. Her mother sat cross-legged in the vegetable garden next to giant hills of zucchini, scribbling into a notebook in her lap. She looked up, squinting under the brim of her straw hat. "Whoa, what's the emergency?" "Got mail to deliver," called Ruby. "Important mail, a matter of life and death." "Be home for supper, if you're still alive." Ruby waved a hand raggedly and ran. Her bare feet slapped the dirt road, and her ponytailed red hair leaped all over the place, like a fire chasing her down the hill. She took the long way into town. She always did, since the accident. When she came to the town sign, she leaned against it to catch her breath. "Welcome to Halleluia, Mississippi. Population, 400 good, friendly folks, and a few old soreheads." Every storefront in Halleluia faced Main Street. Behind the stores ran a sandy lane. Ruby followed it past the back of the laundromat and the bank to the post office. She patted her pocket. Yes, the note was still there. Behind the post office grew a majestic silver maple tree. Its roots stretched themselves out underground, popping up here and there, knobby, like big scraped knees. Hidden in a root tangle was a dry hole just big enough for a sack of marbles or a softball. But Ruby never put her softball into this hole. It was her secret mailbox. She pulled the letter from her pocket to put it in the knothole. But wait, she had mail. It was pink. First she made sure no one was looking. The Talbert twins were farther up the lane jumping rope. They didn't notice her. Old Ezra Jackson dozed in a chair behind the filling station. Ruby yanked the paper from the knothole and replaced it with her letter. She sat under the silver maple with the piece of pink paper and read, "June 6th. Dear Ruby, today will be a busy day in the store. I can't wait to see you, even though we won't have time to drink a yoo-hoo together like we usually do. I will be anxious for a report on Ivy, Bemmy, and Bess. Love, your favorite only grandmother, Miss Eula." Ruby had a report, all right. She couldn't wait to tell Miss Eula what had happened. It was all in the letter she had just put in the knothole. She would let Miss Eula know it was waiting for her. She walked past the back of the post office, past the back of Doc McRee's office. Yes, sir, she had news. She felt puffed up and full of importance. She sauntered, pleased as she could be, through the back door of Miss Mattie Perkins' general store. June 6th.